Welcome to my channel Liberty Old Coin and 3 Coins Australian History and Story. Today, we are diving into one of the most talked about Australian coins that collectors keep searching for online. Let's get started. The Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin from 1974. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary pocket coin that millions of people once carried every day. But hidden behind its faded silver color and iconic platypus design is a story that has turned this single coin into a fascinating piece of history and a potential treasure for collectors around the world. The Australia 20-cent coin 1974 was created during an important period in Australian currency history. Australia had already moved to decimal currency in the 1960s, and by 1974, the country was producing millions of 20-cent coins for circulation across the nation. This coin carried the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the front, representing Australia's connection to the British monarchy, while the reverse displayed the famous platypus design that became one of the most recognizable images in Australian coinage history. What makes this coin so interesting is that many people still have one hidden away inside drawers, jars, boxes, and old wallets without realizing collectors constantly search for special examples. The 1974 issue became famous because certain versions developed strong collector demand over time, especially coins with sharp details, rare minting characteristics, or exceptional preservation. Even worn examples attract attention because of the growing global interest in vintage Australian coins. Back in 1974, Australia was experiencing economic and cultural changes, and coins like this were part of everyday life. People used them for transportation, shopping, and daily purchases, without imagining that decades later collectors would inspect these same coins under magnifying glasses looking for rare details. The Royal Australian Mint produced the coin to support commerce, but over time, its age and historical significance transformed it into a collectible piece tied to Australia's national identity. The design itself helped increase the popularity of the coin. The platypus on the reverse side is one of Australia's most unique animals, and the detailed artwork gave the coin a distinctive appearance compared to other international currency. Collectors often admire the balance between the royal portrait and the wildlife design, because it captures both Australia's heritage and natural identity in a single piece of metal. Many collectors believe the Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin 1974 stands out because surviving examples in strong condition are becoming harder to locate. Coins that avoided scratches, corrosion, or heavy circulation can attract serious attention at auctions and online collector markets. Some enthusiasts spend years searching for cleaner examples because condition can dramatically increase the price of vintage Australian coins. Another reason people talk about this coin is the possibility of rare minting variations. Over the years, rumors and discoveries involving unusual strikes, die characteristics, and sharp detail preservation helped build excitement around the 1974 20-cent issue. Whenever collectors hear about possible rare variations, demand rises quickly, and suddenly a common-looking coin starts attracting extraordinary attention. One fascinating part of the story is how older Australian coins gained international recognition. Decades ago, most people focused mainly on American or British collectibles, but modern collectors now aggressively search for Australian decimal coins as well. The 1974 20-cent coin became part of this growing trend, and its reputation spread through collector forums, auctions, and social media videos where people showcased valuable discoveries. The front portrait of Queen Elizabeth II also adds historical importance. Coins featuring her image connect different generations of Australian history, and collectors often enjoy owning coins from earlier portraits used during the 1970s. This gives the coin emotional and historical value beyond the metal itself, because it represents a specific era in Australia's past. Some collectors believe high-grade examples of the Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin 1974 could potentially reach hundreds or even thousands of dollars under the right circumstances. Rare specimens with exceptional shine, minimal wear, and collector demand have created excitement among buyers who constantly hunt for standout examples. Stories of surprising auction prices continue motivating people to search through old coin collections, hoping to discover a hidden treasure. What surprises many beginners is that even a single coin can attract worldwide attention if the timing and condition are right. Online marketplaces changed everything, because collectors from different countries can now compete for the same vintage Australian coin. This increased competition helped raise interest and pushed prices higher for attractive examples that stand out from ordinary circulated pieces. The metal composition and durability of the coin also contributed to its survival over the decades. While many coins became damaged or heavily worn, some remain protected in collections or storage containers, preserving their original details. These better-preserved pieces are often the ones collectors dream about finding, because their appearance can look dramatically different from the dull-worn examples most people remember. There is also excitement connected to the mystery surrounding old coins. Every scratch, edge mark, and detail tells part of the story about where the coin traveled and who once used it. That sense of history creates emotional value for collectors, especially when holding a coin that circulated across Australia more than 50 years ago. The 1974 20-cent coin carries that vintage feeling collectors love. Today, many coin hunters search through inherited collections, hoping to uncover valuable Australian pieces from the 1970s. The Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin 1974 is often one of the first dates people examine carefully because of its growing reputation. Some collectors check the edges, shine, strike quality, and overall appearance, looking for anything unusual that could increase the value dramatically. The maximum value collectors talk about can become extremely exciting when a rare high-grade example appears in the market. Exceptional specimens connected to strong collector demand may reach impressive amounts such as $500, $1,500, or even higher depending on rarity, preservation, and bidding competition. Those numbers are exactly why so many people refuse to ignore old Australian coins anymore. What makes this even more interesting is that millions of people once handled these coins casually without thinking twice. Imagine how many valuable collectible coins may still be hiding in forgotten containers inside homes right now. That possibility keeps collectors motivated because every old coin has the chance to become an unexpected discovery. The Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin 1974 is more than just currency from the past. It represents Australian history, royal heritage, wildlife symbolism, and the growing passion of global coin collecting communities. The combination of age, design, collector demand, and possible rare examples help transform this single coin into one of the most discussed vintage Australian decimal coins. So before you ignore an old 20-cent coin from 1974, take another look at it carefully. One small coin with a platypus on the reverse side could attract serious collector attention and potentially bring an impressive amount of money. For many collectors, the excitement is not only about value, but about owning a genuine piece of Australian history that continues becoming more desirable with every passing year. Next coin, Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin 1975, is one of those vintage Australian coins that continues gaining attention among collectors because it carries both historical importance and growing collector interest. The moment people see the famous platypus design on the reverse side and the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the front, they immediately recognize it as a classic piece from Australia's early decimal currency era. Even after decades, this coin still remains one of the most searched Australian circulation coins among beginners and experienced collectors alike. The coin was officially produced in 1975 at the Canberra Mint, during a time when Australia was strengthening its decimal currency system. The country had already moved away from the old pound system in the 1960s, and coins like this 20-cent piece became a major part of daily life. Millions of Australians used this coin for shopping, transport, vending machines, and ordinary purchases, without imagining that collectors decades later would study these same coins, carefully looking for rare examples. One of the biggest reasons collectors admire the 1975 20-cent coin is its connection to Australia's national identity. The reverse side features the famous platypus designed by Stuart Devlin, and many coin enthusiasts consider it one of the most iconic animal designs ever placed on Australian currency. The combination of wildlife and royal imagery gives the coin a timeless appearance that still attracts attention today. Coins in Australia, Com+1. The portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse side also adds historical value because it represents a specific royal era in Australian coinage. Coins from the 1970s carry a vintage look that modern collectors often prefer because they feel connected to an earlier generation of Australian history. Many collectors enjoy building complete sets from this era, and the 1975 20-cent piece is always included in those collections. What makes this coin exciting is that collectors continue searching for cleaner and sharper examples every year. Coins with strong detail, original shine, fewer scratches, and better preservation usually attract more serious buyers. The condition of the coin changes everything. A heavily circulated coin may still be collectible because of its age, but a bright high-grade example can create real excitement during auctions or collector sales. The Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin 1975 had a huge official mintage of more than 53 million pieces, but that does not stop collectors from hunting special examples. Over time, many coins became damaged, scratched, bent, or heavily worn from circulation. That means truly attractive examples from 1975 become harder to locate every passing year. Com+1. Another reason people remain interested in this coin is the possibility of minting errors and unusual varieties. Error coins always create excitement because they can transform an ordinary coin into a highly collectible treasure. Off-center strikes, rotated dies, double strikes, and unusual surfaces are the kinds of discoveries collectors dream about when examining old Australian coins. Reddit+1. Collectors online often talk about hidden treasures still sitting inside jars, boxes, and inherited collections. Many families kept old Australian coins for decades without realizing collector demand would increase later. This idea motivates thousands of people to search through old containers hopping to uncover rare or exceptionally preserved 1975 20-cent coins. The current value depends heavily on condition, rarity, and collector demand. Ordinary circulated examples may sell for small amounts, but collectors focus more on coins in outstanding condition. Professional grading can dramatically increase attention because certified coins are easier for buyers to trust during sales and auctions. Coins in Australia, Com+1. High-grade examples of the Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin 1975 have already reached impressive collector values. Some certified mint-state examples have sold for amounts ranging from $50 to more than $100 depending on quality and demand. Exceptional specimens with strong eye appeal can attract even higher offers when competitive buyers are involved. Coins in Australia, Com+1. The possibility of future growth is what keeps many collectors excited. Vintage decimal Australian coins continue attracting new collectors every year, especially younger audiences discovering coin collecting through online videos and social media. As more people search for older Australian currency, collector demand for clean examples from the 1970s could continue rising steadily in the future. Another important factor is survival rate. Even though millions were minted, far fewer remain today in premium condition. Coins naturally disappear over time through damage, loss, corrosion, or destruction. This means the number of attractive surviving examples slowly decreases, while collector interest continues growing. Some collectors believe special examples of the 1975 20-cent coin could eventually become far more valuable in future decades if demand keeps increasing. Rare error versions or extremely high-grade certified examples may potentially reach hundreds or even thousands of dollars if the right buyer competition appears. That possibility alone keeps collectors constantly searching through old Australian coin collections. One fascinating part of this coin story is how ordinary it once seemed. In 1975, people used these coins casually every day without giving them much attention. Children bought snacks with them, commuters carried them in pockets, and shopkeepers handled them constantly. Decades later, those same coins are now examined under magnifying lights by collectors hopping to discover rare details. The design itself continues helping the coin remain popular. The platypus is one of Australia's most unusual native animals, and its appearance on the coin created a design recognized around the world. Many collectors outside Australia also search for this coin because they admire Australian wildlife coinage and vintage Commonwealth currency. Online collector communities have also increased interest dramatically. Videos, auctions, and coin forums constantly discuss Australian decimal coins, especially older 20-cent pieces from the 1970s. This global visibility introduces new buyers to the market every year and increases long-term collector demand. YouTube +1. The coin was made from copper-nickel alloy with a milled edge and solid construction that helped many survive over 50 years. Because of this durability, collectors can still occasionally discover examples with excellent detail and strong surfaces. Finding one in unusually sharp condition is exactly the kind of discovery that excites coin hunters. Many people today underestimate vintage Australian coins because they once circulated in huge numbers, but collectors understand that rarity is not only about mintage. Condition, rarity matters just as much. A common coin in perfect condition can become far more desirable than people expect, especially when collector competition becomes intense. The maximum value of this coin depends entirely on the quality and uniqueness of the piece. A standard circulated example may remain affordable, but a brilliant mint-state coin with outstanding preservation or a rare minting error could potentially sell for several $100s or more under strong market demand. The excitement surrounding these possibilities is what keeps collectors searching year after year. The Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin 1975 remains one of the most recognized vintage Australian decimal coins because it combines history, royal heritage, wildlife symbolism, and collector excitement in a single piece of currency. Every surviving coin carries a story from the 1970s, and some collectors believe the best examples may continue climbing in value as interest in Australian numismatics grows worldwide. Coins in Australia, Com +1. Second coins Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin 1977 became one of the most recognized Australian decimal coins from the late 1970s because of its famous platypus design, royal portrait, and strong collector interest that continues growing today. Even though millions were originally made for circulation, collectors still search for this specific year because attractive surviving examples from 1977 are becoming harder to locate in outstanding condition. The coin was officially produced at the Canberra Mint in Australia during 1977, a period when decimal currency was already fully established across the country. Australia had changed from pounds and shillings to decimal money in 1966, and the 20-cent coin quickly became one of the most heavily used pieces in everyday transactions. By 1977, these coins were circulating through shops, buses, restaurants, schools, and markets across the nation. Coins in Australia, Com+1. The front side of the coin displays Queen Elizabeth II wearing a royal tiara, while the reverse side features the famous platypus designed by Stuart Devlin. Many collectors believe this reverse design is one of the greatest wildlife images ever placed on Australian currency because it captures both elegance and national identity in a single coin. Coins in Australia, Com+1. What makes the Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin 1977 so fascinating is that people originally treated it as an ordinary everyday coin. Nobody expected that decades later collectors around the world would examine these same coins carefully under magnifying lights, searching for rare details, mint-quality surfaces, and possible unusual variations. The Royal Australian Mint created this coin mainly to support the growing decimal economy of Australia. During the 1970s, the country needed large quantities of 20-cent pieces because they were constantly used in commerce. More than 41 million pieces were minted for circulation, which shows just how important this denomination was for daily Australian life. Coins in Australia, Com+1. Even though the mintage was large, collectors understand that survival in premium condition is what truly matters. Most of these coins experienced heavy circulation for years. Many became scratched, faded, bent, stained, or damaged from constant use. Because of that, high-grade examples with strong detail and original shine now attract serious attention from collectors. One reason so many people want to buy this coin today is because Australian decimal coin collecting has become increasingly popular worldwide. Collectors from Australia, the United Kingdom, the United States, and many other countries now actively search for vintage Australian coins from the Queen Elizabeth II era. This growing international demand helped increase interest in the 1977 20-cent coin. Online marketplaces and coin auction websites also changed the market dramatically. Years ago, collectors had to visit coin shops or local shows, but today buyers from around the world compete online for the same rare Australian coins. This global competition pushed interest much higher than before, especially for coins with excellent preservation. Collectors especially love coins from the 1970s because they represent an earlier era of Australian history. The Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin 1977 captures the style, economy, and national identity of that decade. Holding one feels like holding a small piece of Australian history that survived for nearly half a century. Another reason collectors search for this coin is the possibility of rare errors or unusual minting characteristics. Whenever collectors hear stories about rotated dies, off-center strikes, or exceptional strike quality, excitement spreads quickly. Even a small minting difference can turn an ordinary-looking coin into something highly collectible. The coin itself was made from copper-nickel alloy with a milled edge and strong, durable construction. It weighs about 11.31 grams and measures approximately 28.52 millimeters across. Because of this durable composition, some examples survived in surprisingly attractive condition, despite decades of circulation. Coins in Australia, Com+1. The current value of the Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin 1977 depends heavily on condition and collector demand. Standard circulated pieces can still attract collector attention because of their vintage age, but cleaner uncirculated examples become much more desirable. Certified mint state coins have already reached impressive collector prices in recent years. Coins in Australia, Com+1. Some professionally graded examples have sold for more than $70 when preserved in exceptional mint state condition. That number surprises many people because the coin originally circulated as ordinary pocket change. The difference between a worn example and a pristine collector-grade example can be enormous. Coins in Australia, Com+1. Many collectors believe the maximum value could become even higher in the future if interest in Australian decimal coins continues growing. Rare error versions or unusually sharp high-grade examples may potentially attract hundreds of dollars from serious buyers, especially when competitive bidding happens during auctions. The number of people interested in buying this coin continues increasing every year because coin collecting videos and social media content introduced younger audiences to vintage Australian coins. Thousands of collectors regularly search online for older 20-cent pieces, hopping to discover rare or valuable examples hidden inside old collections. There is also excitement connected to the idea that many valuable coins may still be undiscovered. People continue finding old Australian coins inside jars, drawers, inherited boxes, and forgotten family collections. That possibility keeps collectors motivated because every old coin has the chance to become a surprising discovery. Some collectors specifically target Queen Elizabeth II coins because they represent a long historical era that ended recently. Coins from her earlier portrait periods are especially attractive because they feel more historical and nostalgic compared to modern circulation pieces. The Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin 1977 also benefits from the popularity of the platypus design itself. Many collectors consider it one of the most iconic animal coin designs in the world. That artistic appeal helps keep collector demand alive generation after generation. Videos and online discussions about Australian coins constantly encourage people to inspect their spare change more carefully. Some collectors have even built entire collections around 20-cent coins alone because there are so many interesting dates, conditions, and possible variations to search for. YouTube. The strongest examples of this coin are the ones collectors dream about finding. Coins with bright surfaces, sharp edges, minimal contact marks, and strong original luster often stand out immediately. Those are the pieces capable of attracting serious collector competition and much higher prices. What makes this coin truly exciting is that it combines history, royalty, wildlife art, collector demand, and the thrill of treasure hunting in one small piece of metal. The Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin 1977 continues gaining attention because collectors know that older Australian coins in premium condition rarely stay unnoticed forever. As more collectors enter the market and more coins disappear into permanent collections, the best surviving examples may continue becoming even more desirable. That is exactly why so many people still search through old Australian coins. Today, hopping the next valuable discovery could already be sitting quietly inside their own collection.